Prime Day deals for DJs are back. This is one of my favorite videos to do because I just get to kind of unleash all of the best items that I find and items that I use almost every single day when I'm out at weddings. So make sure you guys stay till the end. I have found a ton of deals, and I'm going to post the link to all of these items in the comments. So make sure you just go click the link and go grab the item. I tried to keep them all together, but once I started seeing like how many deals were out there, I actually went through my list of everything a lot of DJs bought from the last video. And these are ones that a lot of people got, so you know they're gonna be good products. So make sure you stay till the end of this video because there's just so many deals out there. This is a really good Prime Day and there's some good deals. So stay till the end and you're gonna see some rapid fire crazy sales. So I'm just gonna go so fast. I'm gonna rapid fire them. I'm not gonna give you the whole spiel on why I love these items, but I'm just gonna hit you up with them. Starting out, the most important item that you can buy for your DJ gear is a solid hard drive, because if anything ever happens to your hard drive, your music is gone, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So there's been a lot of guys who've been asking me for the 4 terabyte. Honestly, in my opinion, you don't really need more than a 2 terabyte. Unless you're doing music videos, then you need more space. But if you have more than 2 terabytes, you probably just have too much music. Either way, the 4 terabyte is finally out, 22% off. I tried to keep all the deals at least 20% off or above. This is my favorite hard drive. I have the exact same one. It works incredible. Never had an error, never had a crash. This hard drive is like unbelievable. I'm a big fan. I've been rocking it for about 3 years now. No problems, not even a concern that it might be breaking. Big fan of this hard drive. If you don't got a solid state hard drive, do yourself a favor and get one of these drives. Next up, you got the T7 Shield. This is just the 2 terabyte, a lot cheaper, $179. This is a very small price to pay to know that you have peace of mind that you've now backed up your entire music library and you can never lose your music library. Take it from someone who has had a hard drive crash in the past. It's not fun. I've pretty well quit DJing about 4 different times because I've had 4 different hard drive crashes. I've had friends who've had hard drive crashes, and when that happens, you kind of feel like everything is kind of over and you either have to start all over again from scratch or you just have to quit. And that's not something fun or something that you should even be considering about. So just spend the money, go buy a hard drive, and that's it. Next up, we got the SanDisk 2 terabyte Extreme Pro. It's just gonna be a bit faster. It's gonna be safer. SanDisk is a very, very trusted name, one of the best hard drive companies out there. So if you wanna spend just a little bit more money, you can get this one, the Extreme Pro. They're all gonna be great. They're all gonna work. This is something that I would probably say don't cheap out on. You don't have to buy this most expensive one, but don't go buy the cheapest one that you can find. You wanna buy one that's legit. And next up, we got a 2-pack of 25-foot XLR cables. So I have a friend who says you want to spend the most money that you can on cables so that you just buy it one time and then it's done. I've bought expensive cables and they've broke just as quick, if not probably quicker. I've had these Amazon Basics, same exact ones for now 5 years running. Not a problem, never had an issue with them whatsoever. I've paid for the expensive ones, they've broken too. I don't know if there's a big difference. So this is something that, like, in my opinion, I would rather have more cables than I need, a bunch of cheap cables more than I need, and just a bunch of them all together instead of going to buy one really expensive one and then maybe I don't have enough cables. I would always rather have more than less. I don't really care if they break, in my opinion. So this really just comes down to how much you want to spend. I would really recommend just getting 2 25-foots. They're going to come in handy someday. One day when you need them, they're going to be there. So just get them. Don't even think about this. And then next up, this is a 3.5 millimeter. So this is something that's going to plug into either your laptop, or if you have the adapter, this will go into your telephone. This is just like a backup cable that one day you're going to need this cable. And for $9, I don't know why you wouldn't spend the money. Just go get it. For me, I'd probably just get the 3-footer, which is cheaper, $6. I would just get this because normally this is just going to go from like my laptop into my, say, my monitor tour or wherever it's kind of going. It's never going to be going a long distance. It's up to you if you want to get a long one or not. For me, I would just get the small one. Next up, this is one that I found in my list of what a lot of DJs bought, so I threw it on here as well. There will be a different one coming up. That's the one that I really recommend, but you can never go wrong with a 50-foot extension cord for $18, bro. Like, I can't even say this a million times. Normally, the pricing that I know of is around like $1 a foot. It's a little bit cheaper because you're on Amazon, like normally $30. For under $20, like this is a no-brainer, 40% off. Just buy this extension cord and never worry about having like enough extension cord ever again. This is something that is always going to come in handy. It's black as well. Let me be the first one to tell you, if you don't know this, do not ever show up to a wedding venue with an orange extension cable. They're going to laugh at you. They're going to talk behind your back. Just spend the money right now, the $18. Get yourself a 50-foot extension cord, black, and be done with it. Throw it in your bag, throw it in your car, just leave it there for the future. Do it. Don't even think about this one. And next up, this is just literally a 1/4 inch to 1/4 inch cable, 20 foot for $8. I can't tell you when this is going to come in handy if you're ever plugging in like a musician. And don't be one of those guys who are like, I'll plug you in for a fee. We are in the wedding industry. We're out here to serve other people. The easier you are as a vendor, the easier people are gonna refer you and say like, that guy's a good guy. Like, he's always gonna be there for you. He's gonna help out the other vendors. Just have this cable on you for $8. It's a small price to pay for being able to like save the day, when one day this is gonna come in really handy and you're gonna save the day and people are gonna thank you because you just had this one little cord. A lot of people are gonna forget. They're not gonna bring it. It looks nice. It's nylon. For $8, don't be a dummy, buy the cord. And this is the one that I was talking about. This is probably my most favorite cable that I have for $11. This is your 25-foot cable, but it's not an extension cable. This is what goes directly into like your speaker or your moving head or kind of like almost anything that takes power. It's your like a monitor cable. So you would plug this into your computer. You're going to plug this into your TV monitor. You're going to plug it into your TV. What this is 25 feet, and that you can take this anywhere. So you can plug this into like your hub, wherever you're set up. You can send your speaker out about like 20 foot out that way, and then up your 5 feet to plug it into the speaker. Again, all you need is an extension cord to make this happen, but I find that this just makes it so much easier when I can literally just directly plug in. Now I don't have two cables out. I'm not sprawling with cables. This has been my favorite purchase of probably anything that I've ever bought. I actually just went out and bought 15 of them for like all my guys. If anyone ever needs them, I have them ready to go because they save time, and it's a small price to pay for the time that's going to save you in the future. I pair it up with a 25-foot XLR cable as well. So now I just got like one cable. I put this stretch wrap around it so that I'm just running to my spot and I'm good to go. When I tie it back up, it's very quick, very easy, very clean is important, because when you're clean, people will notice that and they'll be like, yo, this guy actually knows what he's doing. He cares about what he looks like. This is a good guy. Now we're getting into the big boys. We're getting into the good stuff. This is 50% off the Blue Eddy power station. Personally, I don't have one of these. I can't really talk on this, but I know a lot of guys who do have this, and this was a very hot seller on my last Prime Day video, so I'm just gonna assume that this is very good. I wouldn't go anywhere without something like this. I have the Everse 8 speaker, but I know a lot of guys who just run a Blue Yeti or they run the Jackery system, and they swear by it because you can run your whole event wirelessly. You can do your ceremony, you can plug your speakers in, you can plug your mics in, you can plug everything in, and you're completely wireless. This is something that, like, if you don't have something that can save the day, you need something like this. For $500, 50% off, I think this is probably going to get my like seal of this is the most important thing that you need to buy if you are a wedding DJ, especially on this Prime Day. If you don't have something like this, just buy it right now. It's gonna save the day, and this is gonna lead you to more work, getting more referrals, something that like when you save the day for a wedding, you become this all-star in your city that people will talk about for a long time. And next up, this is just another one that a lot of people bought as well. I don't know the difference. Most people talk about the Jackery, so I just threw it up here because it's a good price. The EF EcoFlow portable power station. I just talked about why you need one. Whichever one you want to get, I don't know which one's best. This one has a lot more plugs. So I know there's a lot of guys who are like, I'm the DJ, I'm not a power station for everyone's phone. But again, this just happened last week to me. They were looking for a cell phone charger because this older lady, her phone died and she had to get an Uber and she had no way to get home. So of course I was there to save the day. I had my charging station there. We were ready to go. I got her up running again, and they just thanked me so much, because if that didn't happen, she couldn't have got home at all. It looks like it comes with a carry bag. Do something like this, whether it's the last one, the cheaper one, anything, just have an option out here where you can save the day, and it's gonna change your life, I promise you. Next up, I have the other version of this. I've done videos on them. They're just wireless XLR cables. They work really well. I don't have this exact one, but the ones that I have, they don't sell anymore. And I heard it's the same brand, same people. They just changed the name, because that's what happens on Amazon when you're getting these little knockoff things. They work so well. A lot of guys that I know have had these, and they've really changed the game for them. So when you're in a pinch and you need this and you don't want to have like a cable running across the floor or something, these things they're always in my backpack. They're there ready to save the day, because one day this is going to pop up where you need it. And then if you don't have it, it's going to look bad on you. And if you do have it, you're going to save the day. So just get them. They're not that expensive, $100. This isn't a must-have, but if you have the money and this isn't a big deal for you to spend $87, I would really buy one of them right now just to have it. Next up, we got the Phoenix Pros. So I can't really speak on these. I know a lot of guys who talk about these mics and have nothing but good things to say about them. I don't have a pair, so shout out Phoenix Pro. You guys got to send me a pair so I can really back you guys up on these. But if you need a pair of cheap mics, I would never recommend getting cheap mics, but I started with cheap mics. If you don't have the money to buy really expensive gear right now, buy cheap stuff, but know that in the future you are gonna have to spend it again. It looks like it's down like 20%, so this is a good deal. But definitely, like, these are only for karaoke. These are stuff that I send out for like rentals and stuff. I'm never going to send out my Shure mics. But once you're in a position to get like Shure mics or Sennheiser, something legit, then go spend the $1,000. If you are just starting out, like, just get some of these, rock them until they start breaking down, because they will in the future. But to start out, I don't see anything wrong with getting something like this. Like, you don't have the money to go buy a pair of Shures. In the future, you will have to do that. But right now, if you don't have anything else, like I did the same thing. I started with cheap mics, worked my way up. Next up is just a mic just like this. This one is called the Blue Yeti, but this is just the Shure MV7X. It's $45 off. If you don't have something like this, when you're doing consultation calls, this one isn't the best mic that's out there. There's actually a higher level than this, but it's like $500. This one is pretty cheap. You always want to sound good, or maybe you want to start a podcast or a stream or get on YouTube like me. Just get something like this. Very cheap. It's not expensive. Spend the money. You're going to sound. Sound is one of the most important things. Like, video is way less important than having good sound. Just get some sound. Make sure you sound good on a consultation call. It's very important. These next up, this Ihaho. I can't believe how many people actually bought this. This is the only reason I threw it up here. I actually did a review video on this. I'm kind of a fan. Like, it works well. It's very cheap. Again, I'm not a guy who would ever rock a laser. It's just like something I don't think is very cool, but it works very well. It's cheap. It's on sale. If you want a laser, right here, grab it up. Power conditioner. These are so important. It's on a very good deal. Again, 20% off. If you don't have a power conditioner, you have to get one of these. It's going to save your gear. It's going to make sure your gear stays in good condition. It's going to make your speakers sound better. This is a no-brainer. If you don't know what a power conditioner is, go Google it. You need to know what this is, especially if you're a DJ running shows, okay? It's a no-brainer. Next up, we got the B-Topper moving headlights. So I've got the B-Topper sent me this. I didn't have this exact same version, but they have sent me some lights. They work really well. They're very bright. This looks like it's going to be a wash. So I added this in. 65 bucks. You can't go wrong. For a nice pair of like wash lights, you're looking at like $400. Again, as I just said, like if you don't have the money to buy a $400 light, just buy this for 65 bucks, get something, and then in the future you can upgrade. You can sell this for whatever, 20 bucks, whatever you want to sell it for, or keep it in your bag forever. It's got decent ratings, not the best ratings out there, but again, if you don't have anything, start here, go get a gig bar, something like that. All right, next up, this is one that I found and I am buying this immediately. Like as soon as I'm done with this video, I will be buying this right away, 30% off. The next up I think is called the Jetpack bag and it's like $450. So this is so important. If you have any of these controllers, like the Rev 7 is what I got. It's so heavy. You got like a Rain 1 or a Rain Performer. They are so heavy. You want these wheels. Like this blew me away. When I saw this price, I'm buying this immediately. I know that the Rev 5 isn't so heavy. I don't know about the Flex 10, but I used to have the SRT 1000. It wasn't very heavy. I could just throw it in just like a normal case, a normal bag and carry it around and it wasn't too bad. But the Rev 7 is so heavy and I'm like, just if I'm walking 100 feet, I'm getting pretty tired, so getting some rollers is so important, and that goes for all of them, like the Rain Performer, Rain 1, Rev 7, anything like that, anything big, you want a bag like this, I promise you. Next up, this was a huge seller last time, so anyone who has like a MacBook Air or an older, even just an older MacBook, you don't have the HDMI port, so having something like this is so important, especially like it just depends on, most of us are going to be using MacBook Pros, some of us aren't, of course, some people use Windows, but I'm a big fan of Windows. I hate Mac myself, but when I'm DJing, I only use a MacBook Pro, and having extra input ports like USB ports and an HDMI port, super important because older Macs don't have any of that stuff. So just get one of these just to have it in case, like you never know when this is going to come in handy, and it's a very small price to pay for peace of mind. And then next up, just a MacBook Pro charger. There are cheaper ones for like $20, but in this instance, I don't know if this is one that I want to spend cheaper on, just because, like, you know, it is important to have a legit charger. So again, this is up to you. Again, this is also just a backup. So if this is literally just a backup to your charger, I've never had a charger go bad, but I know people who have. I think it comes down to more like how you take care of your stuff. If you take care of your stuff very well, you don't need to spend the money on an expensive backup. But if you don't and you just throw it around, maybe spend the money and get the better backup. I saw these people buying these. This was another huge seller on my last Prime Day. For me, I would never get something with yellow, but you get 3 of them. So I don't think anyone ever knock you either for having the yellow, because it is like, it's telling people that you need to watch out for this. These are cables, they're live. It is important. I don't know if someone will make fun of you for it. For me, I use this one here. It's not on Prime Day sale. It's all black. I love it, but it's not on sale. Even something like this would probably be fine, probably a bit better, but it looks like it's not as high of quality. Either way, I don't think anyone would ever knock you for having these yellow ones, because they're literally here to tell you to watch out for your steps. They are black. I'll leave this up to you guys on which one you want to get. There's lots of options here. Not too many on Prime Day sale, but there are some black ones like this one. Even this one is really good. 25 bucks, 10 footer. I'll leave that up to you to which one you want to get, but these are very important. It's one of something that I never leave home without. Even if I don't think I'm gonna need it, I bring it just in case, because again, peace of mind. And again, if you have cables running across the floor, people are gonna be mad at you. The venue's gonna be mad at you. It's not safe. You need an option, and you gotta have something out there to protect your cables too. Like, this is just gonna protect your gear. Next up, this was another hot seller. I use the DJIs myself. This is one where I wouldn't really cheap out. I'd rather spend the money and know that I'm getting quality product. But this is $90 and the DJI was $450. So again, if you got the money, spend the money. If you don't have the money, you just got to get something that works for the time being. And from what I've heard, from what I've seen, like, a lot of people think these are great and they work well. So I can't knock it. I don't have it, but next up, here we go. So this was one I was excited to talk about. I kind of talked about it on the B Topper, but these are rechargeable uplights, wireless as well. So these are sick because when I bought my first uplights, I bought 4 Chauvet uplights and I spent over $2,000 for them. And they're not even like legitimate wireless. I have to get their, like, I had to buy a whole system. I had to buy this DeFi system, and then I have to pair that into my other system until I bought the both lighting wireless uplights. And now I've never even taken those Chauvet out of the bag. I've probably used them like 4 times. I've made $400 on them, and then I've never taken them out again because they're so big, they're so heavy, they're annoying to set up. And my both lighting, I can just set up like that. So right here, for $360, you're getting 8 of them. That's less than 50 bucks a light. When I first bought my uplights, I spent over 2 G's for 4 of them, and I've never used them again. This is another situation where it's like, once you got the money, maybe go get the special, like the legitimate both lighting uplights. But until then, nobody knows and nobody cares. This is something I talk about with my friend all the time. Like, nobody even cares. They don't know. And they definitely don't care. Another big seller on my last one, it was actually a more expensive one. The one they were buying wasn't on sale, but this is literally $14 and it's all black. I don't think there's like a specific one that's gonna work better than another. It's just like a floor mat for you to anti-fatigue while we're DJing and standing there for 8 hours straight. I'm a guy who never sits down, so this is like a no-brainer for me, something I have to roll around with. Next up, this is just a laptop stand. This is one that I've been rocking my whole life. It's never failed me, so it's on sale. I would just recommend it. It's in the link in the comments. Just go grab it. This is another huge seller. This is your cable from like your DJ gear into your MacBook Pro. It's USB-B to C. If you don't have one of these, like, just get it for $6. You want to have like 10 different backups too, because if this ever goes bad and you like can't turn your DJ controller on, you're in a lot of problems that day. So I would just recommend having a lot of these cables. They will go bad eventually, so you always want to have a backup of this. At least buy 2 of them. This is next up. This extension cable. I already kind of talked about this, how I save the day charging someone's phone, but this is super important. I actually built this into my DJ console, so I screwed this into the wood. It's already there. Everything's ready. I just plug it in and I'm ready to go. I can charge people's phones. It's not really getting in my way at all. It's just there to save the day for when someone needs it. And when you can do that for someone, you're gonna get so many referrals because you save the day for somebody and they're gonna love you for it. Now we're getting to the end of the list here, but these are again our killer deals. This was a huge seller. It's not so important where I'm from up in Canada, but I know people down like south in the States, it gets so hot. Your gear is kind of overheating. This is a high velocity fan, so this is one that's going to keep you cool. It's going to keep your gear cold. Absolute no-brainer. Just buy this. Don't even think about it. It's on sale. It's cheap. $54, 20% off. Just do it. Next up, the laptop bag. This one is, I forget if we already talked about one. I did another bag, but I found this one. It just looks a bit nicer, and style does matter. If you're someone like me who doesn't really care about style, I like more functionality than fashion, but there's a lot of people who care more about fashion. This is a really nice bag. You got a ton of pockets. Like mine is kind of like this, where you can put your laptop in the back, you put your stuff in the middle, and then like cables and stuff in the front, or it's showing shoes, that's pretty big. So again, It just comes down to if you care about fashion or not. I don't myself. I prefer to have like a big bag. You even got a charger in here, which is pretty cool. Next up, this is a ring light. This is a more expensive one, not the cheapest one. There were a lot of other cheaper ones that were on here, but I've bought cheap ring lights and they've went bad and it really pisses me off. So this is kind of the situation where I would spend more. It's up to you. Just take a look for other ring lights. There's a lot of very cheap ones. It's really annoying when they do go bad though. So this is one that I probably would spend a bit of money on. Next up, we've already seen one just like this, but this is a 1/4 inch to mini jack. So this will literally just go right into your phone, or this would go into my DJI mics. This is what I use it for. So when I do the output for my DJI mic, plugs right into the speaker, fully off grid. I plug it directly into the Everse and I'm good to go. Again, this is just like a cable that one day you're gonna need this cable and it's gonna come in so clutch. You wanna have this. I have like just the adapter for the 3.5 inch. I got just an adapter for a 1/4 inch. I got a 1/4 inch to an XLR. I've got every adapter that exists because you never know what you're walking into. You gotta have every option out there. It's so important. Just don't leave home without it. And our last deal right here, this is what I can't believe that so many people bought this. I put it up as a joke, but we're DJs and we need to be loud. Just get yourself a megaphone for $15. Like, I got this and one of my favorite purchases. They're so fun to just bust out anytime you're going anywhere. You're cheerleading, you got your fans around, you just want to bust out your megaphone and you're good to go. So there we have it. I tried to rapid fire that. This is still a super long video, but there were so many deals in there. Make sure you like and subscribe. I might do another video. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes because the deals keep on rolling. But if not, like and subscribe. I hope you had a great day and go buy some of these really important things. Just especially all the cables. They are really important to buy.